Most woodworkers try to solve problems by buying more tools, but pros use simple jigs. The best solutions often come from a piece of plywood and a clever idea. Many useful jigs can be built in under an hour and save hours on every project. Today, I'll show you 10 quick jigs to boost your accuracy, speed, and results. Stay to the end for the story stick, a secret pro tool for perfect results every time. The Crosscut sled is one of the most important jigs for your table saw. It's a sliding platform that keeps your workpiece perfectly square to the blade every time. You get safety, accuracy, and repeatability. No more wobbly miter gauges or guesswork. Both hands stay far from the blade, and the sled supports your material for clean, precise cuts. Once you build one, you'll use it on almost every project. It's a staple for beginners and pros alike. Drilling straight holes can be tricky. Eyeballing often leads to crooked dowels or misaligned hardware. The Drill Guide Jig solves this. It's a simple block with a perfectly sized hole for your drill bit, keeping everything straight. Make one in minutes from hardwood or plastic scrap. Use it for shelf pins, dowels, or any project needing perfect alignment. Simple, effective, and a must-have for crisp, repeatable results. Repeat cuts are essential in furniture and cabinetry work. The stop block jig is your best friend for this. Clamp it to your fence or sled, set your length, and every cut is identical. No more measuring over and over. It's all about speed and precision. The stop block ensures every piece is the exact same length. No guesswork, no waste. You'll wonder how you ever worked without one. Cutting perfect circles freehand is tough. But with a circle cutting jig, it's easy and precise. Your router or jigsaw swings on a pivot, cutting a flawless circle every time. Just mark your center, set the radius, and secure the jig. The result? Clean, accurate circles, no more wavy edges. Try a circle cutting jig and unlock new design possibilities for your projects. Tapered legs give furniture a sleek, custom look, but cutting them safely and accurately can be, well, a bit intimidating. The taper jig totally takes away the guesswork. With this jig, you can cut consistent, repeatable tapers on your table saw without risking your fingers or struggling to keep the board aligned. The taper jig is just a simple angled sled that guides your workpiece past the blade at a controlled angle. You can adjust the angle to match your design, lock it in place, and run multiple legs with identical tapers. No more fiddling with clamps or freehand cuts. This jig gives you professional results every single time. What I love about the taper jig is how safe it makes the process. The sled holds your wood securely, so there's no slipping or kickback. You keep your hands well away from the blade, and the results are smooth and consistent. Plus, you can make one from a couple of boards and a hinge in under an hour. If you want your furniture to look truly custom, the taper jig is a must-have. It's honestly the difference between homemade and handcrafted. Dowels are one of the oldest joinery methods, and for good reason. They're strong, reliable, and invisible once assembled. The trick is getting the holes perfectly aligned, and that's where the doweling jig comes in. This jig holds your drill steady and centers the holes exactly where you need them, making strong joints easy every time. You can build a doweling jig from a block of hardwood with bushings, or even just a set of holes drilled at precise intervals. Just clamp the jig to your workpiece, drill your holes, and you're set. No more misaligned joints or wobbly assemblies. The doweling jig makes it easy to build frames, boxes, or even furniture with pro-level strength and appearance. The best part? You don't need to buy a fancy metal jig. A homemade wooden version works just as well and can be customized for different projects. If you make a lot of frames or cabinets, having a few different sizes on hand is a huge help. Doweling jigs are all about precision and repeatability. Once you see how fast and strong your joints become, you'll reach for this jig again and again. Not everyone has room or, the budget for a full-size jointer, but that doesn't mean you can't get perfectly straight edges. The edge jointing jig lets you use your table saw or router to create glue-ready edges, which is ideal for panels, tabletops, or really any project that needs tight seams. This jig usually consists of a straight board with a clamping mechanism to hold your workpiece. It rides along your saw's fence or router table, guiding the board so you can trim a perfectly straight edge. You don't need to worry about wavy cuts or uneven glue lines. This jig does the heavy lifting. It's especially useful for longer boards or pieces with a rough factory edge. Just clamp your board to the jig, run it through the saw, and you're ready for glue up. If you're working with reclaimed wood or lumber with a live edge, this jig is honestly a game changer. Building an edge jointing jig is quick and inexpensive. And once you try it, you'll see how easy it is to get cabinet quality joints without investing in another big machine. Getting perfect 90-degree corners during glue-ups can be tricky. Boards like to wiggle around, glue gets slippery, and clamps never seem to hold quite right. The corner clamping jig solves all that. It's a simple L-shaped block that holds your boards at a perfect right angle while the glue dries. You can make corner clamping jigs from plywood or hardwood scraps. Add a clamp to each side, and you've got instant accuracy for boxes, drawers, or picture frames. The jig does the hard work of holding everything square, so you can focus on applying glue and tightening clamps instead of wrestling with shifting boards. This jig is especially helpful for solo builders. You don't need an extra set of hands. Just pop the jig on, clamp your boards, and walk away. The results are cleaner, the assembly is faster, and you waste less time on sanding or fixing crooked corners later. If you've ever struggled with glue-ups, the corner clamping jig will be a revelation. It's one of those "why didn't I make this sooner" tools. Flattening large slabs or tabletops is one of the most satisfying and, honestly, challenging parts of woodworking. A router flattening jig transforms your handheld router into a precision planer, allowing you to level even the biggest pieces with ease. If you work with live edge slabs or want to make your own tabletops, this jig is a must. The basic design is two rails set parallel to each other with a sliding carriage for your router. You move the router back and forth, taking off thin layers until your slab is perfectly flat. It's slow but incredibly accurate, and you can make the rails as long as you need for oversized workpieces. Building a router flattening jig is a bit more involved, but totally worth it. You'll save money compared to buying a big planer, and you can tackle projects that would otherwise be impossible in a small shop. Plus, you get to watch the transformation as a rough, twisted board becomes a perfectly smooth surface. If you've got big ambitions for your woodworking, don't let slab flattening intimidate you. A router flattening jig gives you pro results with basic tools. The story stick is a humble piece of wood, but in the hands of a pro, it's a secret weapon. Instead of measuring each part, use the story stick to transfer marks directly. No rulers, no math, no mistakes. Just grab a straight scrap, mark your key measurements, and use it for perfect, repeatable layouts. It's the ultimate jig for consistency, found in every pro shop. Build one for your next project. You'll be amazed at the results. The biggest lesson here is this: great woodworking isn't just about tools. It's about systems that make your work more accurate and efficient. And simple jigs are one of the best ways to improve both. When you invest a little time in building the right jig for the job, you're actually investing in your future productivity and precision. Once you start building and using jigs like these, you'll notice your projects become faster, safer, and far more precise. You'll spend less time measuring and more time building. Mistakes go down, confidence goes up, and your workshop starts to feel like a well-oiled machine. Plus, there's a real sense of pride in solving problems with your own hands. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which jig from this list would you build first? Tell me in the comments. And if you want to see the 5 woodworking tools that transformed my shop, check out the next video on the screen. Those tools made a huge difference in my accuracy and workflow. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.